Guys, big day in the market today. A lot of red out there. What do we have? We have the S&P down 1.1%, the NASDAQ down 1.2%, the Dow down 1.6%, but the more stable, smart investment of Bitcoin is only down 4% today because it is a hedge against all bad things. That was sarcasm. Now, of course, I want everybody to remember, I do take shits on Bitcoin a lot, and it helps that it's down 50% from its high, but I want to remind everybody, I'm not cherry picking. I made a video where I was talking Bitcoin up last year as one of the worst things ever at 111, 112,000. I was soaring in the studio. I said to my group, I go, guys, I want to make an anti-Bitcoin video where I explain the process. Now, the next thing I'm going to say is something that's going to shock a lot of people because they don't hear it when I say this. I love the idea of Bitcoin. I think it's an absolutely brilliant idea. So is communism. We would all love to be in a world where we all work towards abilities, but only took according to what we needed. That doesn't actually happen though. Just like Bitcoin will not work in what it was planned for. Government deregulation, government being out of things. Are you kidding me? The second FTX fell, what did people want? We want more government regulation. That defeats the purpose of Bitcoin. It just goes right back to a fiat currency. With that said, let's focus on what happened in the markets today. Domino's Pizza reported. What are they doing right now, actually? DPZ, is it? Guys, Domino's up 240% over the last 10 years. 2,800%. But look at this. 5 years only up 9%. 1 year down 11%. So a lot of negative lately, but they crushed it. Guys, what did they do? Retail sales growth, 4.9%. U.S. same-store sales growth of 3.7% for the fourth quarter, 3% growth for 2025. International same-store sales growth, 0.7%. Net growth of 392 stores in the fourth quarter. Global net growth of 776. This drives overall sales, but that's why we love U.S. same-store sales. We want to see same-store sales growth. Why? It tells us stores have been open for a while. Are they still growing? Guys, I love Domino's Pizza. I know everybody's going to make fun of me for that. I love their thin crust pizza. I love their wings. I think it's great food. You don't like, but I also eat like a 12-year-old, according to a lot of people. There was a great comment once on a live stream where somebody said, Paul, you eat like a poor person. Fine by me. I love the food. I'm a very basic eater. I love that kind of stuff. They are killing it. And they are based in Ann Arbor, Michigan. We love Ann Arbor. Go blue. Okay. So here are the sales by quarter to the year. So 9.5 billion to 9.95 billion for the entire year. Total sales of 19 billion, 19.1 to 20.1. And then fourth quarter, 5.9 to 6.3. Pretty awesome stuff. Guys, look at these retail sales, U.S. stores, same store sales growth. Everything was a plus, no matter where it was. Everything here, same store sales, all a plus. Didn't matter where. That's awesome. Number of stores, 14,000 stores total. Openings, 320, closings, 24. I mean, that's awesome. Good for them. Guys, Domino's Pizza is a very under the radar kind of company. This company is crushing it here. Let's see the numbers here. 630 million in free cash flow on 13 billion. Returns on capital are negative. Sweet. Don't know why that is. 10 community members have it as a hold. Nobody even has it as a buy. It's selling for 21, 23 times earnings. Profit margin, pretty solid. I'm sure these are the franchise fees, guys. The revenue is franchise fees here, not actual selling of pizzas and some corporate owned stores. Let's see what the 8 pillars look like. Not the greatest. Kind of poopy. All right, what else we got? PayPal. Guys, you know me. I'm a PayPal guy. I own PayPal. Don't own it because I do or anybody else does. But they soared today, 5.7% because there's thoughts that they are being looked at for acquisition. I believe they announced it. So are they actually... Let's see what they said here. Digital payments company PayPal is attracting takeover interest from potential buyers after a stock slide. Bloomberg News reported on Monday, citing people familiar with the matter. Or was that PayPal announcing that? I don't know. They've been fielding meetings with banks amid unsolicited interest from suitors, adding at least one large rival is looking at the whole company, while some suitors are only interested in certain PayPal assets. Buyer interest in PayPal is still at a preliminary stage and may not lead to a transaction. Now, guys, we've talked about this with Intel before. If a company gets cheap enough, other competitors or look at a company like Apple. Yeah, Apple's got Apple Pay, but it's not the same as PayPal. There are components that are similar, but it's not the same. Would Apple be able to, let's pull up PayPal here. What is PayPal's market cap? PayPal's market cap is $41 billion. Apple generates $100 billion a year in free cash flow. Apple could easily buy all of PayPal's shares right now. Okay, right now at current market price, they wouldn't be able to. They'd probably have to pay like $60 billion. But the point is, if they thought it would really help their company, that's a nice acquisition for Apple to deploy some capital at decent returns on capital. Not a bad idea. Add some great cash flow here to the business. Spend $40 billion, get $5.5 billion a year in free cash flow from it. Not including the consolidation they'd have and all the people there. It makes sense, guys. And look at analysts. Analysts think things are getting better for the company. When something gets cheap enough, people pay attention. Not necessarily the retail investor, because most retail investors, unlike you, are fixated on stock price. Look at that jump up. It had to be halted today because it skyrocketed. Interesting, right? Okay, so our community members have it as an intrinsic value of 88 or 89. I'm going to show you guys my intrinsic value based on my stock analyzer tool. Let's pull up the last time I did it. I did very reasonable assumptions. Check it out here. Pause it real quick. Revenue growth of 246%. I focus on free cash flow, 16, 19, 22. Reasonable PE, 13, 15, 17. And these are I actually have intrinsic value of between 90 and 120. I think there's a lot of potential here. Again, that's me. Might not be for you. Don't ever buy something because something on the internet has it. But the point is, I love when I see companies that fall in price and all of a sudden people get interested. It means it's not like some toxic company that the market's saying is worth zero. Look at what's it called? BlackBerry. Did anybody offer to buy? I don't know if anybody offered to buy BlackBerry when the slide started, but they're still an independent company. They're still very independent. So who knows what happens here? But PayPal has surged for that reason. Let's see if that happens. I love this. Rather than focusing on anything else, we at Zacks prioritize evaluating the change in the company's earnings projection. This is because we believe the fair value for its stock is determined by the present value of its future stream of earnings. Does that sound familiar? Every investment is the present value of all its future cash flows. That's the same way of saying that. The present value of all its future cash flows. Interesting. For the current quarter, PayPal is expected to post earnings of $1.28 per share, indicating a change of 3.8% lower from a quarter ago. And Zacks' consistent estimate has changed 7.6% over the last 30 days. They're going through a change, new CEO, a lot of stuff happening here. Now, let's go back here. What else is moving the market? Now, guys, you know us. We always go over stock market GDP every week. And last week was the up week of the market. So the stock market GDP ratio is now 124% overvalued with fair value of 3,086. But look at the consistent growth in fair value. This should happen as US GDP increases. But remember, the more you pay for a piece of a business, the worse your return is going to be. All this is saying is, as US economy gets bigger, so should the companies within it. But at some point, it gets too expensive for those companies. I still think we're too expensive. When will the fallout occur? I have no idea. Will it occur? Probably. And when it does occur, we're here to teach the process of staying calm and looking at every future bear market as an opportunity, not just the past ones. Right now, everybody feels a future bear market's a risk. It is an opportunity, absolutely. If you don't understand that, stick around, watch more videos, because it's a really important concept to understand. And guys, for those of you who don't believe in the stock market GDP, here's the 10-year PE ratio, which takes the last 10 years of earnings, brings it to today, in today's dollars, and we're 125% overvalued, even worse than the stock market GDP ratio. And all that cares about is, what are earnings? Guys, when you buy a company, you're buying a stream of income. You're buying a stream of cash flows. The more you pay for that cash flow, the worse. Let me give you an example. If I said to you, I'm going to give you $10 a year for the rest of your life, what would you pay? Well, if you paid $1 million for it today, you're going to lose a lot of money. If you paid $1 for it, you're going to make a lot of money. The same stream of cash flows, different price. That's what we're here to teach, because everyone gets caught up in the story. We want to include the story with the numbers and put them together. If you just buy the story, every price makes sense, because the story is just a story. It has no basis for fundamentals, putting fundamentals and price together. So if the story is great, then add a zero to the stock price. The story is still true. But if the story involves numbers, you add the numbers to it, all of a sudden, change in the stock price does change the whole entire thesis. That's all we're trying to do here on this channel. We're just trying to stay a little calmer than everybody else, not get caught up in the hype, not get caught up in, even when things go bad, not getting caught up in that kind of depressive state of, oh my God, things are going to zero. Because guess what? Things are not going to zero. And if they do, all the more reason to buy more, because you might as well, because money's not going to matter if the market goes to zero. So guys, if that kind of thinking makes sense to you, there are 5 principle-driven investing ideas that I have. I want you to understand them. We are investors, not speculators. Every investment's the present value of all future cash flows. If we don't understand it, we don't buy it. In the short run, stock market's a voting machine. In the long run, they're a weighing machine. And 5th, the most important one, a great story becomes a bad investment if you pay the wrong price. If you would like that cheat sheet given to you, click the link below. We will email it to you immediately, absolutely free. No charge. You get that PDF. It will help you as you go forward with investing, and it'll be a good level of calm for you when things are euphorically high or depressively low. Thank you for your time.